A really important part of protesting are the chants, the songs, the music. I've been all over London having a good old shout. Here I am shouting at the Brexit demonstrators. Here I am again shouting at random fashion people attending an event at Tate Modern. So this video is about my top Extinction Rebellion charts, songs and drumming. For reasons that will become clear later on, I've broken them down into two categories: hope and comfort. This isn't a scientific process, and the Count Everything channel isn't a democracy. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. So first of all, songs and chants of hope. In this category, I've put the types of chant that you normally hear at protests. Here's the first one, Power to the People. I'm going to give it 6 points. It's easy to chant because only one person needs to know the words and then everyone else can just repeat them. To tell the truth, I'm getting a bit bored of it now. Here we are at the Brexit protests, at the BBC, at the rebellion in April. I'd be quite happy if I never heard the bloody thing again. So 6 points. Next up, people are going to rise like the water. I'm only going to give this version 5 points. It does mention climate change, and it is quite soulful, but you can't really shout it. Chant number 3, You're Oily. This song is better because it's got a bit of rhythm and everyone could jig about to it. I haven't heard it sung very often, possibly because it's quite fast and relies on some sort of singing competence, which excludes me and a lot of other people on the protests. I'm going to give it 6 though, because I quite like it.
You need to clean up your act. We think that you're really oily. So here we go. O-I-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You oily. Hey, hey. You oily. Hey, hey. O-I-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You oily. Hey, hey. You oily. Hey, O-I-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You oily. Hey, hey. You oily. O-I-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You oily. Hey, hey. You oily. I'm also going to give 6 points to Get Up, Get Down. It's a great chant, it's easy to remember the words, and it has some actions. This is one of my favourite protests, drumming at the BBC. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. It's the top mark so far because it was all completely spontaneous. Some random people arrived with some things you can bang. None of us had ever spoken to each other, we just all sort of joined in. Not only that, but people in the crowds actually started to dance to it. I've still got the plastic bottle at home in my garage. One day there'll be another protest where I'll be allowed to bang things, but I don't think it will ever be the same as that day at the BBC. So 8 points, which I am effectively awarding myself, but that's fine. Here's some more drumming from the Extinction Rebellion Samba band. Unlike the previous drumming, they've actually done some practice. Here they are practicing. Here they are in action. They really rock the crowd. I'm going to give them 7.99 because I can't give them more points than I gave my own drumming. But don't worry, the Samba band are going to get another mention in an upcoming video. But the winner of the Hope category goes to 2 chants, both of which were led by a woman at the International Rebellion in April. Here she is telling us that another world is possible. They're simple chants, but she really rocks it and the crowd gets into it. So, 9 out of 10. Well done, the woman with the loud hailer. We're now going to leave behind the world of protest songs. From now on, we're not going to be protesting in the traditional sense. Here's one of the songs from before, but now it's sung with much more urgency and determination. Also, there are very few members of the public to see the protest or hear the singing. These next songs are sung by the crowd themselves to inspire and comfort themselves. People are getting arrested. Some of the people here will have been concerned about climate change for years, maybe decades. They've been frustrated at the lack of action to tackle it. For the first time, there's hope that they can actually do something about it. For many people here, it's a life-defining event. Something that will affect how they see themselves for years to come. Here's the choir singing While I Was Arrested. It's a simple song, beautifully sung. It's quite upbeat. It's a nice way to be arrested. If a Hollywood film was going to be made of that night, then this would be the song the choir would sing, and of course I would be played by Tom Cruise. So, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. That night and Waterloo Bridge will always have a special place in my heart. Next is the Rising Up song. It's well sung by people who've been practicing, well done you, and it's just the right mixture of comfort and urgency. There are hundreds of people here, dozens of police, but it's the song and its sentiment that dominates the space.
We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up.
You might just be able to make out the police cordon around the people who are being cut free from their lock-ons. The Rising Up song gets 9 out of 10. Here's the second song. I'm going to give it 7. It's well sung, but it never really gets the crowd going. Here's the third song the crowd sung that night. Again, the sentiment of the song dominates the whole area. The police stand patiently, arms folded, looking down. Can you hear the cutting and banging as they remove the locks from the protesters? Because of the context and the effect it has on the crowd, I'm going to give it another 9 out of 10.
Such is the power of climate science and the determination of people who understand it. So well done Extinction Rebellion for coming up with some good songs at just the right moment. But let's finish with hope. These protests have given hope to all of us that something can still be done about climate change. So here's that woman with the loud hailer again.